right, hey guys, I'm coming in with your reading today. I was gonna pull prior to, but I want to just have you see here for a moment. I'm going to be pulling from, well, you can't really see them all, but I'm going to be pulling from multiple decks, okay? And this is for the 2/28/25 portal. This is also a full moon reading, right? So that we have a full moon, and then we have this major planetary alignment coming in. All right, so the first card that came out. So I wanted to do this whole reading just a little bit different. Actually, a whole lot different, right? So rather than pulling from the tarot deck, I wanted to start off with the roll deck. So the role that we're stepping into, okay? And I did say this before, and I'm going to say it again. I do feel a major alignment, like a jump, a power alignment, a power jump, a power leap, right? For many of us, we've stepped up and out of this dimension and into a new dimension. We know it. We are aware of it. When I say this, like, so once your eyes are open, you cannot close them. So we've stepped into this hair type of position in life: succession, legacy, lineage, and descendant. Okay, and like that was the energy that I'm getting. Okay, so let's just talk about the hair for a minute. Let's just really speak about this. Okay, the hair within itself is the one who leaves the legacy. I did a reading just yesterday, and I spoke about something to this effect, that I get the sense that a lot of us, starseeds, soul seekers, whatever you want to call yourself, divine ones, chosen ones, we are all in one and the same, right? And so many of us have jumped through the portal and into a new dimension. Okay, so this means that you are seeing, not to say that you weren't already seeing, this means that you are really seeing. You are a seer, you are a hair, you are able to speak the word, you are able to leave the legacy, you are able to forge the way. This is the character of you. So what I pulled from the Roll Oracle, immediately I get this beautiful character of, this is what we're stepping in. And so this is the energy of the chosen ones on this grand day. It is, again, a full moon. It is the 28th. Now let's talk about that for just a minute. I'm not one to talk too much about astrology, but I will talk enough about it to bring out the obvious. February, February is that month where you either have 29 days or you have 28 days. So technically, in the real life and reality, there really is a day missing, so on this very special day, there is something magical happening. Okay, so let's continue to pull from some other decks, okay? And like I said, we're doing this whole reading just a little bit different. I want to pull from more oracles rather than tarots, because they do give different messages. This one took a beating. All right, so the spirit of the animal. And I do love the spirit of the animal. So this is going to tell us kind of like the nature of what we should be moving in, how we should be walking. When you think of animals, animals are always forging. They never take a day off. This is something I tell people, number one. You never see an animal saying, I need a day off. I worked 6 days. And no, they get up every single day to do the same exact thing, to get food, to take care of their, the rest of their family, if they are the type of animal that does take care of their offsprings, right? So we think of all of this. When we think of animal nature, we think of workers. And they're all workers. How they work, whether they eat once a month, like a crocodile or a snake or something like that, it's very mythologic, and it's very, very, I guess I have to take that because that popped up. It's very timed, right? So these animals have to prey on the weak, basically. Okay, so the spirit message, the 2 of them actually came out, is Swan Spirit. It's time for a deep dive. Okay, we'll read that. And then this Pig Spirit, which is use your mind. So let's go in to the book for Swan Spirit. This And I just want to do this a little bit different than giving us this overall vision. I want us to think about more along the lines of our actions. Instead of me putting a story into your head of what the possibilities could be, I want you to live through the idea of the actions. Okay, so the swan spirit, the protection message. So I'm going to just go for that. The protection message with the swan spirit is don't talk yourself into deep diving into something just because you see potential of things instead of what they really are now. The necessary work and patience involved may not be the best use of your energy. Have you seen the potential in someone and think that if you love and support them, they will become the person who knows you love them beyond all others? Have you stepped into an opportunity that you feel is too good to be true? I'm sure it says on the next page. To be true and might not be true. Our way, you hope, might not be true. Out the way you hope. Okay, now is not the time for selective, limited perception that can lead to misjudgment. Instead, this is a time for going deep and being honest about what and how to find as you explore the depths. Have no fear, for whatever you find below will help you to love and understand yourself and others and make better choices. Can you sense the swan spirit calling you deep dive and to resurface and choose again? So in this card right here, this is her, so her overall oracle message is kind of telling us to take a second look. And it's actually, if you listen carefully, it's telling us to pause before we take the deep dive. That sometimes we tend to look at things to always be better, kind of like you see the grass to be greener on the other side, and it doesn't always turn out to be the way you hope. So the swan spirit tells you, to look at everything, to weigh all of your pros and cons, to look at the broader spectrum, to look at what's important to you, to make sure that you have your values set in place, that all of the things that you know are important to you are there within your reach. Okay, so let's go into Pig Spirit. Pig Spirit is number 47. And Pig Spirit kind of tells us protection messengers are you afraid of dancing with the abandoned because of what others might think? Do you think you may be punished if you shine too brightly? Have you been conditioned to expect to be hurt? If you show yourself fully to the world, maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine. That is okay. Because you are being reminded that you are supposed to shine and celebrate your beauty anyway. The pig spirit is here, and he is a model of a good, abundant, and joyous person or animal. Someone will say to me, me too, and join in with your pig spirit because he loves the fun. Okay, use your mind wisely. So the pig spirit tells you to use your mind wisely, and also a lot of she's shining. She's not your ordinary pig, right? So she kind of flies. And so she's telling us to shine, but when you should, are you afraid to shine? Are you putting boundaries up? Are you not doing certain things because it's offensive to other people? That's what comes to me right away. So could you just imagine for a moment in your life, right, where you have to bring your shine down? And I've had moments like this where I have to dull down just to have a conversation with some of these people that just cannot keep up the conversation, right? So, but could you imagine now somebody actually being offended? So the pig spirit asks you to ask yourself, Have you been dulling down your shine? Have you been pretending to be maybe dumber or not so bright just in for the sake of somebody else to not make them feel bad? And is that being honest to yourself and true to yourself? To be true to yourself is to shine as bright as you have to shine, because that's what you're put here to do. So this pig spirit is reminding us, hey, listen, if you've been dulling down your shine, if you have not been using your wings because you've been told you're just a pig, and people just want you to remain a pig and just be friendly and happy, but they don't want to see you shine, and when you do, it's insulting to them because maybe they don't have the same shine. So this reminds us that, like, hey, you are a legacy. That's why you are a pig with wings. This is not any old pig. The swan is just a regular old swan. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but like, okay, she's crowned, but she's a swan. But here you have a magical pig, and he shines, And so that's you, like you're the hare. Okay, so let's pull from another deck, right? And we're doing a whole bunch of oracle decks today. Just because it's fun sometimes, and we don't want to take this full moon so seriously. Okay, that's why I'm doing it like this. I don't want you to take this full moon so seriously. I want you to manifest the happiness, the happy shit self out of you. Okay, seriously, I want you to manifest the happiest parts of yourself, and I don't want you to look at this tarot spread. Okay, mending. So, maybe you've been doing some mending. Maybe there is some mending to do with this pig spirit. Maybe there's somebody that has been kind of like pushing you down, trying to make you feel down. I don't know. This is kind of telling me, like, you have to decide, who do you want to mend with? In this picture, you clearly see two young girls, and they are very attentively mending this banner, right? So this banner is going to go up. It's going to show some type of, togetherness, a celebration, even so, right? So you do see two people mending of a relationship, right? So the mending of the relationship not is necessarily of you and another person. It could just be of you within your inner self, right? So a fork in the road, you may be coming upon a fork in the road in your life right now, or you may be approaching one. So you may be standing in it. So let's just take a look in closer. You see this, is he a reindeer? He is a reindeer, or a goat, or a mule. I think he's a mule. And so, he has no leader. He's walking alone. So this is a big problem for him, because there is nobody to guide him. He has no guider. He has nobody walking, holding his string. He's just stuck in the fork in the road. So if you find yourself stuck in the fork in the road, don't forget about the swan spirit. She tells you to don't jump into things. Remember, she tells you don't just not dive your head deep within the situation, thinking that water is going to be so much better down there, like the grass is going to be greener on the other side. She just kind of tells you to weigh your pros and cons. Just a simple, precaution. Use your precaution. And that's what I get, precaution. Okay, with the fork in the road, I really get a lot of okay, you're at a point in your life, you have to make a decision. You can continue to go down this road. You know that this road is predictable, okay? I have to calm my spirit down because it gets very excited. You know that this road is very predictable. You've traveled this road. You've been on the road. But you are now coming across a fork, okay? For a very long time, you've traveled down this road, and you are crossing this opportunity. The opportunity, he always wants to be in, to take a different road, to travel a different road. And this is something you will have to decide, again, with the swan energy. So let's dig a little deeper from the Wisdom Oracle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This deck is, okay. So a loyal heart and to be fair. Okay, loyal heart tells me that, okay, this is a possible love coming your way, right? Or again, we haven't pulled any other people, so we'll put this to the side for now, but we know that there's some type of love. This could be love within yourself, but because it is two owls, I kind of get like twin flame, because they're identical. They do everything identical at the same time. So you could be coming across your twin flame within your life. And you know what? That makes a lot of sense because look, think about this. If so many enlightened people are stepping out of their comfort zone, right? With the fork in the road, I didn't get to say that. With the fork in the road, you can continue to travel down the road that you already know, you can already predict, you can already see what's there. Like the swan, she travels that same water, but she's being told like to slow down. So you can do that. You can travel that road, or you could go down the road that's a little unpredictable. You don't necessarily know what's there, but it's new, it's different. Maybe it's not so mundane. It's not so mundane for you. It depends on what you're seeking. So with the fork in the road, this is like you're being told you have to decide. This is a time in your life where you do have to decide something. Something has to change, right? And okay, so let's continue to go because I didn't get to say that part about the fork in the road. Now, I see this twin flame coming into your life. This twin flame, if you know anything about twin flames normally are not relationships that are sustainable, that you can kind of like have and be with your twin flame. A twin flame is more or less like a person who's identical to you, but in a male version or a female version. So the opposite sex of you. They're just like you. They literally mock everything you do. And I'm going to be honest, completely honest with you and transparent right now. I have met my twin flame in real life. I think I've met, I don't know if you can have multiple, but this man has got to be my twin flame. We think identically. Okay. Our mindset is ridiculous. So there could be that type of situation, but there's no love. Like there's no love. There's no romance between us. We just have like the same business type of mindset. Like this is how we think, and that's how that's why I kind of get the feeling of twin flame, because we speak every day on the phone. It's going to be almost a year. There has been no romantic contact, though there has been like some kind of like joking around comments. There has not been any type of direction of like, oh, this could turn into love, All right, so let's go forward. Let's go forward a little bit, right? So you get this twin flame energy comes into your life. Loyal heart is like somebody who's also loyal to, because they are like a twin flame too. So they're not necessarily, again, in love with you, but they are loyal to as a person. And I see that with my twin flame already. Okay, so to be fair is like the justice card on a tarot deck, right? So there's going to be some justice. So wherever the imbalance has been in your life, whether you are the one who has caused the imbalance or you are the one who has been receiving the imbalance, if somebody has been unfair to you, this is now where the time that to be fair comes in. So if you have been in a time in your life where people have not treated you so well, and you've maybe, just been in this moment. I said a lot of us have coming out of the dark, this was a dark winter, very cold, dark winter. And so to be fair comes out like, you know what, to be fair, so the scales always have to be balanced. Eventually the scales have to be balanced. So the oppressor will always, eventually be oppressed. All right, so let's just pull a little bit more from the wisdom of the oracle. What else do you have to tell me about? Can you tell me a little bit more about the hair? So what is this hair? Like, how does this apply to us? Thank you. Okay, wow. So Treasure Island. So this tells me also that like you could possibly be coming into some fortune into your life. Like maybe this is not immediately, this could be ancestral with the descendant and the lineage, right? Legacy and succession in the hair, right? So this tells me that you could possibly inherit money, or even you could be the one to leave it to your children, because I see success in your succession, in your overall life. Okay, I do see this for you. I see lots of great things coming for you. I do feel like, again, with this pig, remember it's important to shine, but Swan tells us, remember it's important to take heed and look before we leap. But if this is something you've been thinking about leaping and leaping and leaping and leaping for a long time, you will only have regrets if you don't leap. I just have to say that, okay? Let's talk about another deck. Let's go into Signs of the Times. We haven't picked from them, so we're just doing all Oracle decks. Imagine how these are only Oracle. But I'm sure most of you readers can relate. If you have decks, right? If you love something, you love something, and you collect them. Okay, so from Signs of the Times, can I get, I was not ready for that, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This deck is alive again. Okay. All right, let me just slow down my energy. Signs of the Times is not a big fan of my fast moving. I may take that to the side if nothing comes out. Just want to see. Community, bees community. So this tells me that you not only should surround yourself within a good community, but when you think of bees, you think of what they what they do, right? So bees make honey. Honey is very sweet. So this tells me that maybe with the fork in the road, maybe you're seeking a different community in your life, like overall friends, the group of people that you hang out with. Maybe you're seeking something different from your community. Your community could be the school you go to. The community could be it could be the job that you could have. It could be the residence that you live in. Your community is anybody and any people that you spend multiple hours a day with. That becomes your community. So the community here in this reading is the bees. It's a community of bees, okay? The bees community. So the bees are they work together. This is a nice community. I wouldn't mind being in this community. They work together. They help each other if something goes wrong. So this tells me that you could possibly be changing out your community, or maybe you need to go into a better community where people will treat you for where you're worth. Kind of like with this pig spirit where you have to dull your shine. Yikes. Where you have to dull your shine. I know these two came down and those fell out. Who wants to dull their shine in their community? Because it literally is, people take it personal. It's offensive. So you have to dull your shine because it's offensive to somebody else to be who you are, to be authentic. Could you imagine? But if you're in the right bee community, you will never have to dull your shine. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Okay, recycle, recover. That actually came up the other day and it's coming up again today. So whatever you went through in this dark shadow time of your life, and in your mind too, because the mind came out, you are recycling, you are recovering, you're coming out. And you know what? When somebody recycles, they usually come out like better. When you think about this, right? So I want you to think about a bottle, right? So we take a simple plastic bottle and now this bottle gets recycled. Sometimes, can you imagine where that plastic goes? It could go into the making of like a beautiful tumbler, right? Or maybe even a fender on a car. Like, where does all that plastic go? So recycle and recover, or maybe you are the creation of this new bag that comes into the store, right? Even though we don't do plastic bags anymore, but maybe there is some form of plastic woven into there. Who knows, right? The way things are made from China these days. Also, love comes in again. Okay, so wow, I'm seeing this love. I mean, I feel like it is... The reason why I feel like it's a twin flame is because you have two of the same owls. They have their backs to each other, though they're facing each other, right? So owls do tend to sit like that, and they will face separate directions and then love themselves, and they are making a heart. So, and the card is loyal hearts, but like loyal hearts and then love. So this could possibly turn into genuine love if you have already met somebody, or you may be meeting somebody, okay? But I always like to tell people, like, don't get your hopes up. Like, don't go around seeking love just because it came out in a reading. Okay. And then this one is surrender. So surrender tells me to tell you, like, give it up. Give up all your expectations, all your hopes. We have our plans, right? I will say this all the time. So we have our set of plans, and then he has his set of plans, right? And at the end of the day, it's going to play out the way it's going to play out. Now, whether or not our plans line up is a totally different story. God ultimately is going to be the judge. He's the fair judge. He decides whose plans and what plans are going to take place. Look, I've been in many situations in my life where my plan didn't go a way I expected, and the other person's plan didn't go away as expected, and it totally went like sideways, right? So this right here, surrender, tells me to tell you to surrender your rigid expectations and just go with the flow. Water's very fluid, right? So it moves. It's very fluid and it moves. It's not rigid. It's not stubborn. You know, when there's a crack, it seeps on through. So this tells me for you to just surrender and just go with the flow. So whatever direction you are being told to go in, go with it. The swan, I don't know why she's telling us to kind of like yield and not put our head in deep first. But I kind of feel like when it says swan spirit, time for a deep dive can be like a deep dive within yourself, but then also a deep dive into a new journey, right? But she tells you to yield before doing so. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of this oracle deck. Let's see what we can get from some past life energy. Like when I pull from past life energies, I like to assume and presume that they're going to give me past life energies based on this reading. So this reading is going to basically tell me if it's karmic, it will say karmic, I'm hoping, right? But I like to presume that this has a lot to do with maybe past life, past energies, past karmic energies, anything that you're going through right now. So we're going to deal with that right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This deck is alive again. Okay, strength, courage, letting go. Right, Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael, I love this because I had just told you you have to let go and surrender, and then Archangel Michael comes out and tells you to surrender. But you know what the whole thing is with Archangel Michael? He's telling you to surrender because he's got your back. So he's going to fight your battles for you. Archangel Michael is like, he's got this strength. He's an amazing angel to have by your side. And he happens to be one of my favorite deities. I do have 3 saints of him in my house, and I pay special tributes to him. So Archangel Michael is my main angel, and I kid you not. So it's no surprise that he comes out here and telling you strength, courage, letting go. So he's telling you to let go of the physical fight because this is a spiritual fight. Okay, this is a fight that only he can fight. Some fights are out of our physical hands. Like in the physical world, we can't do anything about it. The only thing you could do is rely on your spiritual beings. Intelligence, mental action, right thinking, resourcefulness. Okay, this tells me that you are a resourceful person and that you have the intelligence and the mental action to make the right thinking. So now I'm getting more clarity on this because the spirit animal kind of threw me off. But with the fork in the road, you have the ability to make the right decision in your life. You know what to do. You know what is right. You have the intelligence, you have the mental action, and you have the right thinking, and you have the resourcefulness. So meaning not only do you have the resources, maybe financially, but maybe you know the right people. Maybe you have the right friends at the right place all the time. Maybe this is something that you should take into consideration too. So where are your resources? Do you have resources? If you go down that road. So that's important. Resources are important. Or will you make new resources? I mean, we all have the abilities to do so. Your mouth is a wonderful thing, you know. You speak to somebody, speak to a few people, there you know, before you go, you have new resources. So let's talk about this, the shaman healing energy. So you come up in a shaman healing energy. So I get like this sense of like, you're a very strong being. You're a very, very strong, intuitive, spiritual being. You may even have like shaman abilities. You may even be able to do, energy healing. You may have the ability to heal. You may actually do some of this for people. Now, this may be part of your practice. I just got a visual of somebody who runs a channel, that maybe there's a channel and like you work your energy, cleaning energy, something like that as well, healing energy. And I also get a lot of voice, sound energy, right? So that just came to me too. So you could be any of the above, but all of them are great, and they are really putting you in a higher vibration and a better frequency. They keep you at a better frequency. Do you guys see how I make up words? That's my dyslexia. Higher vibration. See? I just make up these words. I love it. All right, and we're going to pull from one more deck from the Intuitive Whispers. And I don't know, should we do the place? Nah, because none of this applies to the place. So let's do from the Intuitive Whispers, because we didn't hit this Oracle deck. I do have more, but like, there's just so many. So from Intuitive Whispers, can I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? This deck is alive again. Thank you. All right, Explore Fullness. Okay, this has a book. All right, so I'll have to read Explore Fullness, which is 35. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and 20. Gratitude for the past. Holy shit, yes. Oh my God, I was just talking about this with my kids. Look, this is good enough right here. Maybe even without the Explore. Because let me tell you something. Without your past, you will never... If you did not ever come from here, when you're standing all the way out here on the outskirts, you would not be able to look at this amazing, this amazing shape that you have, or whatever. What do they call these symbol? This symbol that you've created throughout your life, right? So when you think of your life, your travel destiny, right? I wonder what kind of shape, like imagine if we were leaving a sand trail everywhere we went, right? I wonder what kind of shape and signal we'd be making in the earth. Like as you drive your car, you get in your car, you go this way. I mean, I wonder what kind of signals we're placing in the earth. I wonder what kind of directions and all sorts of points and stops and halts, or are we making a full circle, And so with that being said, look, when you look at your past, right, you look at their past mistakes, you say, wow, well, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here right now, because that past mistake taught me how to do this over here, which taught me to get over that little hurdle, and now I'm all the way over here. Do you understand? So without the past, you can't learn. And I will always say, sometimes you have to go back in order to go forwards. And it's not necessarily a physical action of going back, but it's a mental action of mentally taking yourself back. So the idea of gratitude for the past is like, okay, I'm getting a lot of, maybe you need to look back into the past. With the fork in the road, maybe you need to look in the past, because maybe I'm getting a lot of like, you're seeing a lot of things in your life, right? So you've traveled down this road, you traveled it for many, many years. It's what you know best. It's this road. It's very consistent. It's very steady. You know it well. You travel it well. And maybe you haven't given it much credit, or maybe you're being told to have the gratitude for the fork in the road. I mean, this is all a perception thing right now, right? But either way, I get a lot of it, like with this fork in the road. Maybe you are being presented with the fork in the road because you haven't had gratitude about the life and where you live. And maybe you're being offered this other life, with the swan telling you to take a deeper look. And it's just telling you that you need to have gratitude for all of your past, regardless, whether you're moving forward and you're deciding to take the right in the fork in the road, or you decide to continue forward on the journey you're on. Just remember one thing: in order to evolve, we have to embrace change. And that is something that a lot of us don't want to recognize. We don't want to feel it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. And because it's work. Well, change means work. It means changing everything that you know, everything that you believe in, everything that you once did, and changing that into a different lifestyle. And that's an extreme. And I don't know how extreme some people are willing to go for their lives, but for me, I'm willing to go like over the top, because I'm here 50 years already. So I didn't expect to make it past 20. Now I'm here 51 this year. So I know my power. I know my strength. I know I've overcome. I'm able to look back at this and say, wow, look how far I've come. Look at all the challenges I've overcome. Look at how this person deceived me and I still overcame. Or look at how, I should have fell flat on my face here, but I didn't. A miracle came along and I saved, like when I moved into this apartment, I had no job, but yet I was stuck with this huge rent. I had no idea, but like I was blessed with a job and then another job. And so that was like my serendipity of my life. I was living in my fullest serendipity. So I'm so grateful and thankful for my past and my present. So I guess on that note, I'm really going to close up this reading. I think it was really good. And I hope you guys enjoyed today. Don't forget to manifest on this full moon. But remember, when you're manifesting on a full moon, the full moon is really releasing old, in order to make room for the new, because the full moon is full. It's already full of what you've been working on this entire month. So whatever you've been working on, hopefully it's here on this day. You make your final wish, and so be. And and now the moon closes out, and we work into a whole new moon phase. And that's when you get the opportunity to bring in some more new stuff. But in this time now is the time to release. Like, so I said it before, and I'm going to say it again because it is the beginning of spring. I think it's a good time to purge, go through your stuff. A lot of things in your house weigh you down physically. Like physically, there could be clutter in your closet, and you don't understand why you have this feeling of like, oh, this house is dirty. But though the house looks clean, on the eye, to the eye at surface, if you open up a closet, maybe it's a disaster. Or maybe if you open up the microwave, maybe it needs to be scrubbed, or the fridge, or the stove, and so that's part of the purging, is like deep cleaning, getting into a deep cleaning, because when you deep clean and you clean away all of the dirt in your life, all of the filth, you go through all the rooms, you make room for new things to grow, new things to prosper, maybe new plants to come in, the light to come in, you start removing the shade. All right. So yeah, on that note, guys, I think this message was really long, total 36 minutes. I was right. It is long. I love you always. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to smash that like button. And guys, I will see you possibly over the weekend. If not, I'll check in again with you on Monday. Don't forget, today's an amazing day. This is a great reading. We did not use tarot cards today. We used just oracle decks, just so we can get some really general meaning of the absolute day. And it's a day of manifesting. And don't forget, you have the healing energy. You are the shaman, and you have the intelligence and the resources to make the proper and the right thinking. And you have the strength of Archangel Michael to let go, perfect for this full moon, let go of what doesn't serve you and take the courage and the strength to take on what's new. Okay, I'm done. Love you. Bye. Mwah.